And we are live on YouTube with a great special guest, and we are going to start the official recording in three, two, one. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 18th episode of the Stories About Fear podcast with a wonderful, very patient guest today. Upgrade your mindset for phenomenal media success with the one and only Sharon Bolt. Known as the mindset media expert and the creator of Get Free Publicity Today, Sharon is renowned for getting high profile features and interviews on top global media platforms all around the world for her clients. She believes that your mindset plays a crucial part and is often the missing link when it comes to phenomenal media success. Sharon helps coaches, consultants, agencies, service providers, and entrepreneurs to get visibility, credibility, and authority at an iconic level. I sure do love the sound of iconic level. Sharon has also been a business owner and entrepreneur for over 20 years and has contributed to more than 50 different local and national newspapers, magazines, TV and radio shows, and has received over $2 million in free publicity and free advertising. This is quite an achievement. Sharon has been featured on BBC, ITV, and Channel 5 TV shows, has been showcased on Fox, CBS, and ABC, and has had a regular slot on BBC Radio since 2008, where she answers the listeners' questions. This is impressive, Sharon. Welcome to our episode today.
Thank you, Roxanne. That was quite an introduction. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
It is such a privilege to be learning from you, Sharon, because your experience with mindset is what has drawn me to you so much, as I'm also in this field of NLP. Can you please share with us, Sharon, your wonderful story, how it all started and your business has begun while you have not yet set up all the details? Can you please tell us all about it?
Thank you, Roxanne. Yes, it was actually back in 2007. And I had a thriving complementary therapy practice, and I worked with all types of problems for people. There were emotional, physical, spiritual, mental problems. And like you, I'm an NLP practitioner, I'm a Reiki master, and various other types of therapies that I used to offer. But you see, what happened, Roxana, I had another dream. And my dream was to become a professional dog trainer, because a couple of years previously, I had gotten a couple of 2 Parson Russell Terrier puppies. They were 8 weeks old from the same litter, and my passion had changed. I wanted to become a professional dog trainer, but I didn't know where to start, what to do. I didn't have a budget. I knew nothing about marketing. So what had actually happened was, previous to that, I had been on a spiritual pilgrimage across India for 4 weeks. And whereas before I just wanted to stay small, I was happy within my business. When I came back and shifts that had taken place during those 4 weeks, I wanted to go big. So what I did is I signed up to a PR company. Now, I had the mindset that I was ready. I wanted to go. I was going on the big top platforms. I wanted to talk about dog training. I was having amazing results with my dogs and my complementary therapy practice people's dogs too. But I didn't have a business. I didn't have a dog training business at all. It was a pipe dream. And I just thought, well, this is one way to launch my new business. So I joined the PR company, and they they didn't want me to go big. They really wanted me to start small. They talked me down. They said, no, we have to start small with local media. You work your way up. And I just felt so frustrated. I felt contained. But, if that was the way that you do it, I just thought, well, I'll just have to go along with it. And there was this one day, Roxana, that I heard on the radio. It was on BBC Radio 2. It has, I think they have something like 24 million listeners a month. And they were saying that I heard the radio host say that he was going to get a dog training expert on the show the following week. And he was going to get somebody from the public eye. Now, I had at this stage a couple of local interviews in the newspapers. I got no business from it. It was good. It was fun to do and that, but it didn't give me any rewards. And again, I still wanted to go big. So I never spoke to the PR agency at this time. I just thought, I'm going to pitch myself. I'm going to try and get on this show. So I did. I pitched myself. In fact, I pitched 3 times because I heard nothing back. And it was the following week, I sat in the studios live in London, being interviewed live about dog training in front of millions and millions and millions of listeners. So that's really how it all started. The PR company was not impressed. They, in fact, the PR lady shouted at me. The boss said, "You don't do it like that." And that was the end of our relationship, and also the start of my obsession about getting media attention.
Wow, Sharon, what a story. Well, it seems that you do it like that as opposed to what the PR lady said. This is fascinating. And can you please tell us if you have this strong perseverance and ambition naturally built in you, or has it shifted along the way?
There has, every experience, I came from that complementary therapy background. I always guinea pigged myself. It was always about working on myself. And I always believed then, and I believe that this is the same thing now, that if I'm not good myself, then I'm no good for anybody else. I'm no good for my clients. I'm no good for my business. I'm no good for my family. So I've always focused on myself. And then, of course, when you then go through different experiences, only that makes you better. I mean, of course, there's some knockbacks where my confidence has been knocked along the way with various things. But of course, it's about the story that you tell yourself. That's the real key thing here. And yes, it's important to surround yourself with good people, with mentors, with people that are supportive, but you have to tell yourself the good story first.
Wow, how a strong mindset can actually get you to be maybe 10 years ahead. Because if you had waited and if you had played it small, who knows where you would have been now? Maybe at least 10 years in delay. This is wonderful. And can you please share with us? I know you focus a lot on mindset. What is the strongest skill that you recommend that your clients, the people you work with, focus on when it comes to mindset?
Well, one of the things that I do is, like I just mentioned a little bit about, I want to sort of like elaborate a bit more on that, is just really be conscious of who you surround yourself with. Now, if I go back to the story where I was going to be interviewed in front of millions of people, now I had to cocoon myself at that time. People around me were frightened. I was live, I was in front of millions of people didn't know me, for doing this. I wasn't known as a dog trainer. I was known as a therapy helper. That was my job. So this was so out of the normal for most people. And what people do is that they love you and they want to do the best, but they will reflect back to you their own fears and limitations as if it was happening for them. And as I say, they do it, they think they're loving you, they think they're helping you, they want to protect you, but they're not standing in your shoes. So it's very important who you surround yourself with, and especially, when you're going through something new or something that's not really what other people do, you have to stay very close. I hardly told anybody about the up and coming interview that I was about to have because I knew people would be frightened. It was really about me telling myself this story. And this is another thing that I do, Roxana, is I tell the story and I visualize, I sit down and I tell the story again, and it's practice. It's like a muscle. You have that mind is a muscle, so you have to practice it. But I was telling myself the story that everybody was going to be lovely to me. I was going to speak clearly and concisely. They were going to love me and they were going to be really nice to me. People were going to be really complimentary. It was going to be fun. These were the types of things and the intentions that I had set out in advance before I was even doing it. So being very clear, having clarity of what you want, putting out your intentions and telling yourself a strong, positive story is the key to success.
Beautiful. Thank you for mentioning this. I truly believe this as well, because as you said, if we ourselves are not our biggest supporters and allies and best friends, who is going to be? Can you please share with us if you have had any issues from trolls, from people trying to get your shine away from you? Because since you got so much media attention all of a sudden, as you say, people do put on ourselves their own limitations. Have you had any similar issues?
I've had loads. I've had loads, Roxana, over the last 14 years. And it started really from that very first interview where people, and they can be really nasty, it can be personal, but, and back then it did knock my confidence. I did do some self-searching back then, some soul searching and thinking to myself, do you know what, it's easier to stay small when you step out and you're different from what most people are doing, when you're daring to go for it, people will try and knock you back. And that did affect me. And I had to rethink that myself. I took some time out. It was a few days. And I thought to myself, am I going to let these people who don't even know me hold me back? And I thought, that's crazy. Why would I ever do that? I tune into me. What do I think? What do I think about what I'm talking about? Does it work? Do I know it works? Do I trust myself? That's really where it has to come back to. And I have a motto that I don't listen to. I don't take on board advice or criticism from people that I would go to for advice and help. And that includes all the people that don't know me, all the people that think they're experts that are not in their field. So it's really more about bringing it back to myself. And to be honest, Roxana, I don't read the reviews or comments. I scan it. And if I get wind of that it's not going in a complimentary way, then I don't read anymore. And I remember I've had a regular BBC slot now since 2008. So that's a lot of years. And I remember going into the studio and the host. I've worked with a lot of presenters now during that time, and the presenter at that time, when I came in and I sat down, I've been on the show numerous times, he said to me, oh goodness, Sharon, he says, not everybody likes you, do they? And I said, he said, I've got about 3 emails here from people saying not so nice things about you. Now, these were people that had joined my emailing list, and I, had thousands and thousands because of my media interviews that I had done. They had joined my email list, and then when I would say that I was on the show, they would send an email to the presenter saying, well, I shouldn't be on the show. And I just laughed. He said, do you want me to send you these emails? And I said, no, I really don't. I said, the truth is, I can't please everybody all of the time. I can't please some of the people some of the time. And the only person that I can stay true to is me. And if people like me, then that's fantastic. And if they don't, well, they're not my people. So it's easy to get caught into a trap. And this is what I find can happen, is that when you are wanting people's acceptance, you're wanting validation from people, it's a downward spiral, because every time somebody says they like you, it makes you feel good. But you could get 99 people say you're wonderful, and then there's going to be that one person that will say, you're out of date, you don't know what you're talking about, it's rubbish, did you hear the way she said that? And it's just going to affect you. So for me, my biggest advice, and what I live by myself, is I don't go looking for praise, and I don't go looking for criticism. I keep it very much to myself and just stay on track and stay focused that way.
Wow, this is very wise, and you actually rationalizing this fear of what other people say is giving you the success that you deserve. And it's also a principle that I heard with Gary Vee that is also very rational when it comes to other people's opinion. And I also do believe that if I wouldn't want to exchange my life with that person commenting, why would I let that affect me? As you said, it doesn't make any sense. This is beautifully said and very inspiring. I remember back in the days, I used to be such a people pleaser, Sharon. I would need people to approve my every move. I wanted them to approve on my looks, on my makeup, on what I thought, on the tone of my voice, even just to make sure that I don't get any negative reaction. I was simply afraid to acknowledge myself. And I would love to ask you, Sharon, how was your relationship with fear originally?
I embrace fear, and I think I have a slightly different concept about fear than most people. I hear, and I've read the book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. For me, it's about lining up with that fear first. And what I mean by that is telling yourself a good, positive story. When I talk about this first media, international media, millions of people, I was telling myself a good story. If I'd have dipped, if I'd have listened to other people, I would have really been frightened. So I line up with it. The fear could be there. It could come up at any time. So I start telling myself a really good story. The other thing that I suggest to people is surround yourself with people that are going to be supportive, people on the same sort of mindset as yourself, and particularly mentors. Having a mentor there who's gone through what you're going through, has got the t-shirt, knows what to do, knows how to support you, knows how to keep you focused. So for me, it's feeling the fear, lining up with it, and then doing it, but never backing away from it. But if I'd have been frightened, if I'd have listened to other people's fear about going in front of millions of people, when I had no business, I wasn't a dog training. I was introduced as a dog training expert because that's how I pitched myself. because I believed in myself. You have to have this self-belief. I had seen with my own eyes the results that I was getting with my own dogs and my clients' dogs. I believed it. I wasn't going to let that hold me back. But I didn't have the website. I didn't have the years of experience. But I knew I could make a difference. And that's what I do. I bring it back again to me. So fear hits, right? How can I reframe this fear? And that might take a little while in order to get there. Sometimes it's quicker than others, and then I move forward. When it was for that, I saw that as an amazing opportunity. I was wanting to get on a top media platform, and there was my opportunity. It was exciting, and I wasn't going to let anybody hold me back from that. That one interview changed my business overnight. I got celebrity clients. It was the beginning of a very, very long media career and journey for me. And that could have gone completely in the other direction if I had listened to my initial fear or other people's fears.
Very inspiring. And hearing you talk, I actually am understanding that your very first trolls were the PR agency that did not believe in you at all, unfortunately. Is there, Sharon, something that maybe drives you from the exterior, or would you say that what pushes you in life to do more, to achieve more, is only inside of you?
Yeah, it's definitely inside. It's definitely inside. I think you have to be passionate about what you're doing. You know, I was doing the complementary therapies. I was having amazing results. I was playing a part in people's miracle journeys. It was rewarding, but my passion changed. And then I became a professional dog trainer, and I have online dog training courses that sell all over the world. But my passion changed again because I became obsessed with media. I love it. I absolutely love doing media interviews. And I've got a proven format, a proven formula now. After all these years, I've hung out with so many journalists, I've had so many interviews. I know how to leverage media interviews so they can turn into sales. I know how to use the media as a business, you know, to expand your business, to get on the right places in front of the right people. You know, this has been exciting. This is an exciting journey. So it's that passion. It's that passion inside you. And every business that I've had, and when I've moved on to the next one, it's because I felt passionate about that next business. So I don't stay stagnant unless I'm having fun and it feels like I'm going to make a difference in the world, that I'm changing people's lives. Or there's nothing better than to get my clients, and these are first time people. They've never had prior media experience at all. These are first timers, as they call themselves, and I'm getting them on global platforms. Of course, I'm giving them the tools, I'm giving them the support, the mindset tools, the media training that they need in order to have huge success. But I go for gold, and that's what I do with my clients.
You inspire me so much right now that I feel that I can literally do anything only by listening to you. And this is outstanding, Sharon. Thank you very much for sharing all your great wisdom with us. Get publicity today, get free publicity today. Your wonderful media company has actually begun naturally as your passion for media. Can you please tell us all about this wonderful way of connecting normal people to outstanding results and media all over the world?
Well, I just love blowing away the media myths. And I think there's a few things that hold people back from getting phenomenal media attention, and some just any media attention. And it's twofold. One, there's that fear of, oh, what if I say something wrong? What if I do something wrong? What if I'm not prepared? What if I get a question that I don't know how to answer? What if I freeze? The fear all the time. So that's one aspect of it. And the other one is they just don't know where to start. They don't know if they've got any stories to tell that the media will be interested in. They just don't know where to start. And this is for established business owners as well. This is for people that are doing so well in their business too, who want more, but they just don't know where to start. A lot of the media or a lot of the marketing agencies that I connect with, they are offering all types of social media, SEO, all types of things to get people noticed. But what I see, Roxana, is people are just clamoring to try and get some type of recognition, to get some type of authority, to get in front of their clients on social media. I mean, I look on Facebook and it's just people are bombarded, with things of look at me here, look at what I'm doing, look at my product. And I think if you get on the media, you're then being endorsed by the media, or so it appears. You are getting instant credibility. You're standing out from your competitors. Let the media give all that to you. And the only thing that is holding people back is that they don't know what to do. So that's what my programs are about. And one of my programs I offer is an 8-week Master the Media program. It's an A to Z program where I take you through. There's every week you're given a different, there's things from mindset training, there's how to write a pitch, how to come up with headlines that the media can't resist, there's how to get on podcast shows, there's how to become a top contributor for the top blog sites. It's just everything that you need, as well as media training. So that's the 8-week program. This is fantastic for entrepreneurs, for business owners who are selling high ticket programs, bespoke programs, or want to go into that arena, for people that are selling online courses, or even brick and mortar companies or businesses who just want to stand out and are not getting what they deserve in publicity. So that's one program that I'm offering. And the second program that I offer is called the Elite program. And this is where I do the actual publicity for my clients. So this is for people that are already doing extremely well in their business. They want more attention. They want more visibility. They want more. They want more credibility. They want to get on the top media platforms, and that's where I work with them personally. Also with media, with mindset stuff and media training, I personally do that with them and get them on the top media platforms so that they can just dominate the media and take their business from very successful to phenomenal.
Wow, there is so much great information that you are sharing with us. And it got me thinking about the imposter syndrome. And can you maybe share with us what's one trick to get it over with for good?
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? Imposter syndrome. And even the celebrities, they go up and get their award, and in their speech they say, "Oh, I'm not sure why I'm getting this. This is a surprise to me." And I've read people celebrities actually say, "I think somebody's going to catch me out. Someone's going to realise that I'm no good after all." So this is imposter syndrome is something that so many people, even established, successful business owners and celebrities, suffer from. And again, it's about telling yourself a story. It's all about the stories you tell yourself in your head. You are the story that you tell yourself. So it's not a one-off. I am constantly regaling myself. I'm my biggest cheerleader. I'm my biggest supporter. I'm telling myself in my head how good I am and how I've got this message to share and how people are going to love it. And then I ignore the people that don't, and so it's really imposter syndrome, whether it be haters. It's really being very focused on you telling you how good you are. Now, I know this goes against the grain, and it was lovely hearing you speak, Roxana, and sharing your experience earlier where you said that you was the people pleaser and trying to get approval from people. If you think about it, that's what we did growing up. We wanted to get approval from parents, from school teachers, from peers. We wanted to fit in and be liked. So it goes against the grain. We have told a story for so many years. We've been told not to be big-headed or big yourself up or stand out and value yourself. We've been told not to do that. So it's time for us to relearn another way and tell yourself a different story.
Very beautifully said and so inspiring, Sharon. I am blown away and absorbing everything that you are saying now. And indeed, there is so much to unlearn. I keep telling myself this because the truth is that I did grow up in a culture of strong fear, and indeed, it was induced by my family with the purpose of keeping me safe, to making sure that I study well, that I'm doing all right in life. But unfortunately, it did not turn out as I would have wanted to when I got to be an adult, wanting to do so many things. And there I was wanting to get approval for anything. The wonderful story about this is the great lessons that I got to learn along the way, and the wonderful lessons that our listeners and that our viewers can decide starting from now to take from all the fears and all the limiting beliefs that were induced to us along the way. Sharon, you have two wonderful books as well. Can you please tell us a bit about them also?
Yes, these are two books that have been published. I co-authored these books, and this is a great tip for people because obviously with books, if you are an author, you are automatically an expert. And it is about positioning yourself as an expert in your field. Now, writing a book can take a lot of time, but there are opportunities. Again, you need to know where they are, but there are opportunities for you to co-author books. These are, as you can see, these are my published books. Women in Business is one, and An Entrepreneur's Guide to Running a Business. So these are very in line with what I want to be seen as an expert in. So I've written a chapter in both of these books to position myself as an expert in the areas and in front of the type of people that are a good fit for me and my business.
That's a wonderful strategy indeed for being more visible out there.
Yes.
And Sharon, before we go, I have one more question before telling our listeners and our viewers on YouTube how to get in touch with you. Would you say that overall, the biggest key or secret to success would be self-validation?
Yes, it's self-belief and doing everything that you can do in order to tell yourself that positive story, that you are good enough, that you are the best, that I tell myself people are lucky. People that I work with are lucky to work with me. That's the type of, and it sounds arrogant. So, okay, so it can tip into that arrogance. I'm not shouting it from the rooftop. I'm letting you into the type of things that I tell myself here in my mind. That's the type of thing that I practice, so that you then do attract the type of people that are on the same wavelength that you are on and that you want to work with. This is how you work with your dream clients. This is how you get on your dream platforms. This is how you have your dream life. So yes, don't wait for others to validate you. Don't wait for others to approve of you. Listen to you and tell yourself that strong, positive story of how good you are and self-belief.
This is very inspiring and yet not as complex as one would think. We just need to shift the way that we have been talking to ourselves so far. And it's actually easy to put in practice once you literally decide to take on your dreams and start living the life that you have always wanted and the one that you are designed to live. Sharon, this has been very eye opening and very inspiring. I am pretty sure that our listeners and our viewers are more than curious to get in touch with you, to work with you, to learn more from you. Can you please tell us how can they get in touch with you?
Well, if people are interested in the 8-week program, the direct link for that is getfreepublicitytoday.com slash media. So getfreepublicitytoday.com slash the elite program. So it's for a very exclusive number of people. It's not a program for everybody. It is for the business disruptors and the maverick entrepreneurs. It's the people that want to go big, 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 and they want me to represent them. You can find out about that at getfreepublicitytoday.com slash elite program. And what I'm doing, Roxana, is that when people go to these programs and have a look, if you book a call with either, it might be with me myself, it might be with one of my team, and what we will do is if people are a good fit for our programs, we are going to guarantee them a slot on, it's a program called Ticker News. It's a global streaming platform in Australia. They stream all over the world and have over 2.2 million viewers per month. So just imagine what that can do for your business straight away, just to get on that platform. I have connections with them, so I can book my clients direct onto the show. So for the people, I'm only offering it to a select number of people. There's a limited number of slots that I'm actually offering. But if people are a good fit for either one of those programs, and we offer you a place onto that, that is something that we will look at organising for you straight away. So that's getfreepublicitytoday.com slash masterthemedia or slash elite program.
Wonderful, Sharon. I am sure that people are going to at least check this out. Not to mention, they are going to fill in the form to make sure that they get a chance to talk with you and your team. This has been wonderful. It's an honor to learn from you. You truly are the media expert that I have been reading all about. You have exceeded my expectations. And I am more than grateful to have you with us to share our story, to give us tips and tricks on how to upgrade our mindset for phenomenal success. It has been truly a blessing. Thank you so much, Sharon, for your time.
It's been my pleasure, Roxana. I've loved chatting to you, and thank you so much for inviting me on your show.
Thank you very much.